Homestead Grandma here. I've been working on the greenhouse, cold frame, whatever you want to call it. Got that wall up. That's the west wall. And then I realized I have a very curious audience. I guess that's what I get for having turkeys. They are definitely curious. I'll give you an update soon on the rest. That's the west wall. This is the north wall. This will be the biggest deterrent to freezing temperatures and wind damage. So I've got 1, 2, 3 T-posts in so far. Got to put some more concrete block out. See how far we get. So I've got 2 there. I'll have 3. Let's see. Anyway, I have a total of 8 pallets. Let's give you some perspective. It's not that big. That's why I sometimes call it a cold frame. It's kind of a greenhouse. It's going to have glass windows, but that 4x4 is going to go in that corner right there next to the T-post pounder where the 2 pallets come together. I'm going to be able to keep going this way until I have 4 pallets this way, then 2 more pallets on the east wall. That's the east. So the east wall will be right along here somewhere, and then coming back for the south wall. And I've got to put a door in, probably in the northeast corner, which would be right about there. And we'll see how it goes. Of course, before I get it completely walled in, I've got to get certain family members out, because if I put them in with greenhouse plants, they'd be gone in a heartbeat. Gobble is not just the sound they're talking about. I think it's the appetite. So there's my hungry critters. It's like Red's snoot is healing up where somebody grabbed it. He's just kind of got a dark scab there now. I suspect it was her, Miss Sunflower. And there's old Gobbler. When I try to pet him, he kind of... Yeah. Welcome to my closet. I have just cleaned off this shelf. Guess what I found? Yep. Just like the other day in the bathroom. But I thought this time I would show you what mouse poop looks like. And that's where I discovered they're coming in. Because this old barn, this was the rafter of the barn. And we just roofed around it and walled inside it. And I believe I'm getting mice coming in right there. So I've got my trusty cleaner to kill the germs, the viruses, and I've got my steel wool, and I'm going to stuff it in that corner and right there. And I think that's the only 2 locations over here that they're coming in. I've looked everywhere else, and since I do have evidence, and that is what you look for right there, that is proof positive that you got a rodent problem. And I know I'm ashamed that I have them, but you know, it happens, and in the country it happens more. But if you live in the city, you could have the same issues, and you can use steel wool to block up openings, and it will help. Now, I may have to come back and do some kind of foam to fill this up completely. I don't know if the steel wool is going to handle it or not, but it's a solution. It does help, and it can adapt to any kind of home in the city or not. I should have known when my cat started knocking stuff off of this shelf and down onto the floor and making a huge mess. But I have pulled everything out up here, and then I'm going to have to go back and clean below my clothes, pull everything out on the floor and clean that. And then I replaced the dryer vent cover on my dryer vent back there behind the house, and I'll have to clean the floor behind here too, just to make sure I've got everything. And when I do, I'll crawl back there and make sure I don't have any openings at the bottom of this wall. And you know what I'm gonna do, because you've seen it before. I'm gonna shred this steel wool and stuff it in every crack and crevice I can, and hopefully that will be the end of the mice, because although Kiki the cat does a really good job of catching them outside, she can't get up here because, well, she gets up here, but she can't get back in this corner when there's stuff here. And she can't get to inside boxes like that one. See the hole where the handle is? So they can get anywhere and she can't. So I still have to give her kudos because she does a good job. I've seen her eat, I don't know how many mice. But if she can't get to them, and if she can't trap them, she can't eat them. And that's a pretty disgusting sight in itself, because she doesn't cook them or anything. She just eats them. So anyway, this is what you do. If you find these, you can stuff your crevices, fill all cracks as much as possible. And like I said, I may have to get some spray foam and do some more stuff up here, but I don't want to film it while I do it, because if I lose my balance, I'm going to need this hand to catch myself. So wish me luck, y'all, and stay tuned for more Homestead Grandma, because this is a real homestead problem. Okay, I've got the cows calmly munching. Everybody thinks that the other cow has the best stack of cubes. Grace wants all of them. But they're calmly munching and they're doing good. Now that Found knows she can't get to me, she seems to have calmed down quite a bit. I think maybe she just wanted me to feed her more often. I don't know. And Grace snagged a couple right there. Let's see how the girls are doing. There's Goldie. And no eggs. She'll lay one when she's ready, but I want to know when it happens. So we'll go in and give them some treats. Earl seems to be doing okay. All the girls are in one piece, so that's a good thing. There's Puff, right there. Hi, girls. Yeah, I'm gonna open it, Sugar. Oh, you've just about lost that part of your comb, haven't you? It's definitely gonna fall off. There we go. Come on, Goldie, you can have some. Goldie and Raven always hanging back just a little bit. They get kind of upset with each other and then they just shake it off. There's Raven over here by Puff, Goldie behind him, Snowflake. And that was another hen running Snowflake off, not Earl. Okay. Sugar and Earl and Freckles just eating out of my hand. They are fun. I'd probably like them even if they didn't lay eggs. Last night, the turkeys ended up camping out on the porch. Wouldn't move, wouldn't let me in or out, and ended up leaving a bunch of mess for me to clean up this morning with a shovel. I hope they find a better place than that tonight. That's not my favorite way to greet the morning. Well, it might have been Raven that damaged Sugar's comb, because Raven just snapped at her just now. And snapped at another one. There's that shimmer. I can't tell them apart without seeing their feet. Here's Snowflake. She's got such big white spots. Reminds me of what we call giggle snow in Colorado. I lived there for 10 years, and the big flakes that float down so slow just made me and my daughter giggle, so we named it Giggle Snow. That's what she reminds me of, with those big flakes. White spots. There's Puff. Good girl, Puff. You can trust me. I'm your mama. She's just settling for what falls out of my hand. I'm gonna make a new bucket. I think those nipples is what they call those little spouts at the bottom. I think they're old. I've got some in the house, so I probably just need to take a bucket to the house and put new ones in. And I'm gonna go work on the greenhouse some more. Homestead Grandma, we'll talk to you later.